emergency disaster drill that was planned by local members of the public safety agencies, fire, police, and EMS to demonstrate some of their skills, capabilities during a large-scale incident. We had it set up on West Kensinger Drive in Cranberry Township in an office park, Cranberry Business Park.
While we were in the planning process, Seneca Valley School District made contact with us and wanted to know if we would like to participate in a drill with them. So what we did is we incorporated a school bus accident into the drill. The scenario was a school bus accident, approximately 15 patients or students in the bus. The bus overturns. There is a van involved that hits the school bus with 2 deceased patients in the van. The whole idea of the drill is to give the responders enough of a challenge that we can identify some strengths, some weaknesses, and do a critique, and then so we all learn.
4 objectives, main objectives that we were trying to accomplish, and one that was the application of the unified command system, and that's when all the agencies come together in a mass scale incident, and you have one supervisor or administrator from each agency that would kind of coordinate their efforts at that particular scene. And that'd be, fire, police, EMS, along with the mutual aid agencies that are there. Provide an opportunity for these folks to work together. The Cranberry Police Department was the first to respond, and that's typically in a case of an incident like this. They will coordinate efforts and dispatch, notify the dispatch for responding units such as fire and EMS.
First thing that has to happen is scene safety. They have to make sure the scene is safe for any additional responding units to come in. Stabilization is to make sure that the scene's safe. Do we have fuel leaking? Do we have any hazards? The bus was on its side, so the fire company, one of their first priorities is to make sure that that bus doesn't turn over again. First arriving police units were able to identify minor injuries. They helped those individuals get out of the bus. The fire department's one of their requirements that they have a hose, water readily available if there is a problem. There's always a potential of a spill and an explosion. As fire and EMS arrived and further triage was done, all the victims were taken out of the bus and transported to UPMC.
UPMC was involved in the planning of the drill. They test their surge capacity where they have 15, 16 victims. And they see how well they can manage these individuals as they're coming into their hospital.
Often you'll have family members or friends showing up wanting to see their relatives or friends. And the officers have to control that scene. They need to keep the bystanders, media back so that the emergency responders can do their job.
Police typically deal with these situations that would involving bystanders, gawkers.
They can hinder rescue by getting in the way. The officers are trained to keep a safe distance between the scene and the bystanders.
The police did an exceptional job in keeping them back.
First responding units were the police. They assumed command of the scene when they arrived. As more incoming units came on scene, that command shifted to the fire company.
Typically in a scenario like that where you're dealing with a crash, it's less of a crime scene and more of an accident scene where fire and EMS would take control. But the way we establish it would be a unified command. The command center would typically be set up on site at the back of one of their command trucks where you'd have a representative again of fire, police, and EMS there. One of the goals is to coordinate efforts between the 3, see how we effectively communicate.
We were looking for relationship building between all the organizations.
That's one of the benefits and one of the results that we saw coming out of this particular drill.
All the emergency services worked very well. EMS had their own frequency, but they also were communicating with command, and the police were communicating with command. So it worked well, and it worked the way it should have worked.